YouTube, this is HK58, and this is yet again another video of cards I can see making it into Modern through other means outside of going through Standard. I do have a video made on this topic, and the link will be in the description below. So I'm going to talk about any sort of graveyard debt or graveyard dealings of cards. They work with the graveyard or they hate on the graveyard. Any of those. So the first card I'm going to talk about, some of these cards also I can see being modernized to where it actually is not this card, the card specifically on the list, but a newer form of the card. And the Tombfire, great name for the card. It should be an instant. If it was an instant, it would have been useful when Flashback was in Standard last. Outside of this, exiles all cards with Flashback from a graveyard, from target player's graveyard. Great way to go, all those flashback cards, goodbye. However, instant speed could be great already in Modern. Great way for one black mana to sit there and shut down Storm after they made all their cards flashback in the graveyard. So outside of that, this is a sorcery, so it's slow. It would never be used. They could reprint this one and make it like an uncommon for gags, and then in the second block make the instant version, which would make it better. If they bring flashback, whenever they bring flashback back. The next card, repopulate. Just a little meh card. This one's more of a standard. Another reason it'd be kind of cool to see a newer version of this. Shuffle all creatures from target player's graveyard into that player's library. Great. However, this in Modern actually does shut down Living End decks. So they're cascading. They're going to cast Living End. And then you just go, repopulate. I'm going to repopulate your deck. So everything dies. Only your stuff comes back if you have anything in the graveyard. And their stuff is gone because it's all back in their library. So it's a good way to shut down that strategy. Outside of that, it probably would never really be used. Like I said, maybe a sideboard card. And it has cycling. So it does cycle if you don't need it. Like if you know you're going to win that turn and you just need an extra card of some sort. There you go. Excuse me. Night Soil. 2 green mana. Exile 2 creature cards from a single graveyard. And you put a 1/1 green sapling onto the battlefield. It's a definitely mono green devotion style or green stompy style card. Especially mono green devotion. Most of the time they're the same, but 2 green sitting on the mana or on the battlefield, so you're hitting your devotion. So yeah, right there, it supports as well as it exiles 2 cards at a time to give you 1/1 creature. It's not giving like equal trade, however, you're still shutting down 2 of their cards for 1 of yours. So yeah, this one easily can fit through Standard, no problem. Endless Cockroaches is one of those little strategy trick cards. I can see this just be more of a standard staple or standard playable. Modern, if there's this deck that is built around it. Especially since if it dies, you can put it back in your hand and replay it. So it has some similar feel to Squee, but it's not Squee. Squee's way better. Angel of Finality. Another budget version for a graveyard exile all cards type card. As well as it is an angel. So it can support an budget angel tribal. That's the reason why I said budget angel. But like I said, outside of that, it just wouldn't be ran much. Piper's Melody. Similar to Repopulate. I'm not going to go over much of it, even though this is a sorcery, so it's really slower. This card can go in if there's ever a block that doesn't use cycling. Which I think I heard is supposed to be a mainstay for cycling. Which would be nice to see cycling in every set from here on out. To help support some of those cards. Outside of this, is a meh card, to be honest. Repopulate's better. And the second to final card, is Mudhole. Target player exiles all land cards from their graveyard. However, this one's another one of those cards I can see a mana of 1 red or a colorless and a red as an instant, just to be a little better, a little quicker. Outside of that, it's meh on part. It probably won't ever see Modern. This specific card won't ever see in Modern play unless there is a crazy land deck that they need this card for. Like I said, a 1 red or even a hybrid symbol or something to where it just exiles lands. Especially since red's the most dominant color on land destruction. And then the last card is Entrails Feaster. Just a little zombie beater that actually starts removing a creature in a graveyard from the game to pump it. And if you don't, you get to tap it. So it's useless when there's nothing in graveyards, but it's useful excuse me, when there's a ton of stuff in graveyards. It's a great way to start removing your creatures, your opponent's creatures from their graveyard, and at times you may have to remove your own. It's a great little strategy. And this one I could see standard and modern viable. But outside of that, this is the last of this list on, I guess you could call it graveyard dealings type deck. Let me know what you think, and if you have your own list of cards similar to these, or some of these, go ahead and make your own video. Have a nice day.